Okay, when does the fun start when playing the piano? Fundamentally, it's all about training the subconscious to flow through music. Think about this. When you play a sport, you don't think about the training. You think about the game. And you're into the game and you're having a great time. When we play piano, we want to have our ideas flow automatically. When we speak the language of music, we don't think about the language of music. No, we want to have fun. We want to flow. We want it to be automatic. We want to have ideas. In my system of training, I use very small exercises that you play over and over and over until they're in your subconscious. Once they are there, music becomes a language. That's the secret. So let's get started. I'm very excited to present the first lesson in my JazzFlow series. To celebrate the launch of this series, I'd like to give you a special gift. I'm making my course available to you completely free. This course will help you to build one of the most important skills in music, the ability to play in all keys. It's my way of saying thank you for joining me at the beginning of this new adventure. Now let's jump into today's lesson. These are mental exercises. My exercises are different. They will help you to develop the ability to think on your feet, to improvise, to flow, to be creative. It's all about language. You have to change your language when you're playing piano. The first step is to think in numbers, not letter names. Because if you play a letter name like C major scale, C, D, E, every time you want to play the same thing higher, you have to change all the letters. So we don't do that. We think in numbers because the numbers stay the same. Those are called intervals. Here's an example. Here's an interval of a second. It has 2 minor seconds, and we call this a major second. If you want, you can call this a 2. Now, the first step is to recognize the 2 all over the piano because it looks different. That's a 2. That's a 2. That's a 2. So I've developed an exercise to help you to think very fast. It's all about taking snapshots. Let's say I want to play a major second. I'm holding it down. I'm looking at it. Okay, I see a major second. Let's say I want to play a major second somewhere else. I look around the piano and I see another major second. Let's say it's this one. So I replay this and I spring right to the other one. This is faster than you can think. And that's important. Now I visualize, I look down, I see another major second. I see another one. It's important that you move faster than you can think. It's important that you see it first. Once I can do one jump, why not try for 2 jumps? Now this means that I can visualize or see it on the keyboard. I have to see it and maybe hear it, before you move. So let's say I want to play here, here, and here. So I go, I see it, and I jump faster than I can think. You can continue this exercise as much as you want. I recommend it. Also, you can do it with every interval. But I suggest you practice this until it is totally automatic. You have to be completely comfortable with intervals and thinking in numbers. I like to think in structures rather than chords. For instance, if you play a C major triad, you have a name for it. It's called a C major triad in the root position. However, I like to think of it as a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or major third, and a minor third, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a structure. So we can take any structure. I could play this, I could play this, I could play this. Anything I play on the piano is a structure. It doesn't have to have a name. In fact, the only name you might give it is to name it by the numbers. Let's say we play this structure. It's a 1, 2, and then goes up a fifth, or you could say from the D to the G, it's a fourth. It's a structure. If I play it here, it's the same structure. So we start off by playing half steps or chromatic. I suggest that you play this over and over and over loosely on the piano until you can play it without any glitching and without any looking. You don't need to look. Once you've accomplished many structures, for instance, here's 2 fourths. Here's a fourth and a fourth. I could also call this a 6 if I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I can play it up by half steps. Let the fingers learn how to play this particular structure up and down by half steps. Once you've done that, let's go back to this structure. We'll play it up by whole steps. When you play it up by whole steps, you can think of it from the bottom note or the top note. So, either way, you want to play it until you don't even think about it anymore. Now let's do it by minor thirds. Okay. Now we'll do fourths, around a cycle of fourths. And again, you want to play faster than you can think. Rum, bum, 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 bum. You want your fingers to figure it out. Now we can play tritones. This is either a sharp 4 or a flat 5th. It's called a tritone. So you can play that up and down. Now we'll play fifths. I suggest you play this every day until it's just automatic. Because now you'll start thinking in numbers. And when you think in numbers, you reduce the complexity of music by 1/12. It's very valuable. I hope you'll work on it. Just to mention, I have many more exercises, and I'll be presenting them in future videos. I hope you'll look for me. Now moving on with structures, you can play structures diatonically. That means if you have a major scale, you have a half step between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. So if I play a structure up the scale, let's say in the white keys, when I get to 3 and 4, I have a half step. Before that, I had a whole step. So you have to remember where the half steps are. Very easy to do in C major because it's all white keys. You can look at it. But it gets more difficult to do in all keys. But I recommend that you take a single structure and you play it in every key. You can do it automatically in every structure, and you can play it in all the major scales. I'd like to thank you so much for visiting my new site. I call this JazzFlow because it develops the skills. And you develop skills by practicing simple exercises, and you practice them over and over and over. And they're in your subconscious, and they become a language. So I'll be giving you more lessons. I hope you'll keep your eyes open for them. For now, I have 2 downloads in the description below. One is for my full course, and the other one is for a page that shows you diatonic and chromatic intervals. So you can use that when studying this particular course. So have a great day. Thank you again for watching.